Introducing the brand new Forged Tech irons from Cobra. Let's do it, and let's do it now. I don't think I'll ever hit a 4-iron better than that in my life. It's just not moving, it's just like straight. Hi everyone, James Robinson here. If you're new to the channel and this is your very first time watching my content, first of all, welcome to the channel. Second of all, please make sure you do consider hitting that subscribe button before you leave. That way, you won't miss any of the great golf related content that we bring to you guys every single day. In today's video, we are testing the brand new Cobra King Forged Tech irons. And these things, although they look quite familiar, that doesn't stop them looking exceptional, does it? So guys, as you can see today, we do have a change of venue. We are at Golf Box Australia. I'm here visiting Alex Etchers, and we have lots of great content planned for you guys. But today I'm testing the brand new Cobra Forged Tech irons. And it's got to be said, these are Cobra's first ever hollow body design players performance iron, and they look very similar to a bunch of other irons that are out on the market, the P790, the i500, and they are a very similar story behind them. These are jam-packed with technology to help you hit longer golf shots, better golf shots, straighter golf shots, but also have that aesthetic, that look of a blade, which so many companies are doing really well now. We've got the 7-iron, the pitching wedge, and the 4-iron. Oh, I tell you what as well, what a start. These do feel... How far is that now? Oh, these do feel very, very good and very, very soft in relation to some of the other irons on the market, such as the i500, the P790. But how's the performance? How do they spin? How far do they go? That's exactly what we're going to find out in this video. Guys, before we really get into the meat of this video, I want you to hit those comments below. What do you think of the brand new Cobra Forged Tech irons? Could you see yourself gaming these? Or would you see yourself more as a P790, i500, Mizuno HMB iron kind of guy? So again, I have got to say that whenever I hit these, and I did spend a little bit of time yesterday just preparing for this video, it's so straight as well. And it's not often that I prepare for a video and then just keep hitting and keep hitting and keep hitting. But to be fair, the acoustics in these Forged Tech irons sound very, very nice, which equates to a beautiful feel. Well, that's left. That's probably going to be long as well. I've got to say, obviously, I'm expecting these to be low spin. I'm expecting them to go a long way. The 7-iron, that has gone a long way. The 7-iron is lofted at 29.5 degrees. Now, we'll put all the other lofts on the screen now, so you can have a look at those and compare them with maybe the irons that you use, the irons that I use, any other irons on the market. I am a very low spin player anyway, so I usually do struggle with irons like this to get the spin rate required, to get the control, to get them to stop and land, or land and stop. Let's go a couple more 7-irons, then we'll move into the wedge. Yeah. And then after the wedge, we'll have some fun and finish with the 4-iron. I've got to say, the size of these does actually fill me with a lot of confidence. So as you know, I use blades, and I do like that bladed style look. I don't mind a thin top line down at the ball. These obviously don't have a thin top line. They don't have that blade compact style look, but that's kind of the road they're trying to go down. The top line isn't too thick. The blade length isn't too long. And I think for me, even looking down at this pitching wedge now, obviously it is a little bit bigger than what I would like to see. I use a bladed pitching wedge, but it's not too big. It doesn't look like the Ping G700, for example, where they just look absolutely massive. And it doesn't even really look like the Mizuno HMB. I feel like I could probably game this pitching wedge, to be fair. Let's see how far it goes. No problems with dispersion, that felt great. 138, so not too bad. That's probably what I'd expect to see with a pitching wedge of this loft. Really does just fill you with confidence looking down at them. Maybe I've been missing a trick here. That was a little bit right. So before we go any further, I should definitely start talking to you a little bit about technology, because that's probably why a lot of you tuned in. So these clubs are a hollow body design. They are designed to look like blades, and as Cobra call them, a player's distance iron. That hollow bodied shell is filled with microsphere foam to improve sound and feel. The power shell face is designed to expand the sweet zone, sweet zone, not sweet spot, sweet zone, for greater ball speeds on hits around the face. And the precise tungsten weighting that you will find in the longer irons is designed to get you a better launch that you would want with the 4-iron, 5-iron, 6-iron. All the clubs come with the Cobra Connect, so you can download the Cobra Connect app and you can then plot your round and see exactly where you went wrong. You can see where you went right. And then you can even see potentially which irons are your weak irons, which irons you need to work on. And from there, what I will be doing personally is relaying that back to your coach, relaying it back to your teacher, and working on your game from there. So I think Cobra fans will agree that it's pretty much about time that we did see an iron like this in Cobra's lineup, and I definitely think these could be a huge factor in 2019, obviously moving into 2020, in the marketplace for that hollow bodied iron, that P790 fan, that i500 fan, the Mizuno HMB fan as well. And a big factor of that has to come down to the feel. I keep saying these things do feel very, very good, they look very, very good down at the ball. I just don't feel like it doesn't look like a huge, hollow, forgiving iron to me. It actually looks pretty nice. Let's hit one more pitching wedge, then let's hit some 4-irons. Let's really see how forgiving they are, and then we'll take a look at all the numbers. That'll be an interesting one, because that one came right out of the toe. But actually it's landed up there right in the middle of all the other shots, so what more could you want from that? Distance has dropped a little bit, but I would hope that I don't strike the 4-iron like that. Although I suppose that would help us find out how the hollow-bodied microsphere power shell face would react. Try saying that quickly. Okay, so 4-iron, and I suppose this is where I can really relate this back to you guys, because I'm using the Mizuno HMB 4-iron at the moment, and it looks very, very similar. If anything, I would say that actually the top line on this does look a little bit slimmer. It suits my eye a little bit more than the club that I'm currently using, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this performs. Oh, it's leaking right a little bit, but the sound is so good on these. I mean, obviously there is audio on the video, so hopefully you can hear just how good these sound, but yeah. And you see, that to me is where you really do have to take your hats off to companies like Cobra, companies like Mizuno, who make these long irons, still make them feel great, make them sound great, but make them perform pretty well as well. That's a carbon copy, is it? It's basically on the same flight. Consistent. That wasn't a good hit. That was not a good hit. How's that going to do? This is what we want to see. Don't think it's far away. Far away at all. Okay guys, let's hit 2 more 4-irons and let's take a look at all the numbers for these Cobra Forged Tech irons, and let's see just how they do perform with all the technology that is rammed into these heads. I don't think I'll ever hit a 4-iron better than that in my life. It's just not moving, it's just like straight. It's on the line. It is on the line. Line ball, as Mark would say. And what I do find really interesting about irons just like this, I found the same with the P790, same with the i500, they're exactly the same with the HMB. 4-iron, 5-iron all seem to spin at an okay number. They all seem to spin at a number which I'm happy with. But the pitching wedge, the 7-iron, the 8-iron, they seem to be nowhere near for me spin-wise, and that's really why I couldn't game the full set of these. Obviously I don't game a full set. I do have the 5 and 4-iron in a very similar one. The last shot of the day, let's get one out there. Leaking a little bit, but again the strike and all the performance, the sound, the feel is very, very good. These will be very consistent apart from one shot which I still don't think it's really harmed them too much. So guys, that's 5 shots hit with the Cobra Forged Tech pitching wedge, 7-iron and 4-iron. Quick side note as well, these clubs are also available in the Forged Tech 1 length, so let me know if you would like me to try these. Obviously these are a very similar idea, all at 7-iron length with different weights in the heads, different lofts, to allow you to get that Bryson DeChambeau 1 length experience. So hit those comments below, would you like me to test these, would you like me to compare them? But before all that, let's take a look at these numbers. So guys, as you can see here, we have the 4-iron, the 7-iron and the pitching wedge. Bear with me a little bit because this isn't my usual software, as we have mentioned. We are here at Golf Box, so huge thanks to Alex and the guys for that. 4 iron, an average total distance of 217, 7 iron average total distance of 182, and pitching wedge an average total distance of 138. Now, I don't think they're too bad at all. I think the 7 iron, that's obviously excessive. That's a lot further than what I would expect, especially with the carry distance there of 175. Ball speed wise, 100 mile an hour, 116 mile an hour, and 128 mile an hour, so all pretty relative. And the spin numbers, like I mentioned earlier, are what worry me a little bit always with clubs like this. So the 4 iron, I'm quite happy at 3,500 on average. The 7 iron, I would at least want to see that in the 5,000s, ideally the 6,000s for a club like that. And the pitching wedge, 7,100 on average. I think ideally, again, you want to see that in the 8,000s. But looking at the dispersion on those shots, very, very happy not to see any over there, and any still at the start line. And so guys, that brings us to an end on this review of the Cobra Forged Tech irons. You see, for me, I think in the roundup, I do have to say that you pretty much know what you're going to get with these irons. You know you're going to get distance, you know you're going to get forgiveness, and if that's what you're after, you do have to go and take a look at these moving into 2020. The spin rates, take them with a pinch of salt, because I am a very low spin player anyway. I did try explaining that in the video as well. Whenever I test irons like this, that is always what I see. I think they definitely have a place for 2020. I think they're definitely going to be very popular, sound-wise, feel-wise. I hope I've got across to you just how good these things do feel and just how good they do sound, even though you could say that's pretty much exactly the same. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, make sure you do hit those comments below. Would you see yourself using the Cobra Forged Tech irons? Do you want to see me compare them with the one length equivalent? Huge thank you to Alex Etchers and the guys here at Golf Box for putting me up. What a fantastic facility this is. If you are in Perth, Australia, or in the Western Australia, make sure you get down here, make sure you say hello to Alex. What an outstanding facility it is here. Guys, if you are new to the channel, come on, hit that subscribe button. You know what to do. Leave us a like so that I know you enjoy the content. And as always, guys, I very much look forward to seeing you tomorrow.